All right, so for Unit 5 practice test, now, used to, pre-COVID, we'd give you a problem, give you a grid, you graph it, hopefully you didn't mess up the graphing. Can't really do that. To me, I don't like graphing on paper anyways. I don't see the need for it, especially nowadays with all the technology. But there is a way to see if this is a true or false. Look at your key points of each of these graphs, okay? This one has a B of -1. All right, there's that one. And it has an M of -1/2. Now, there was a problem on one of the, I think the Unit 4 test, where it was the ordering, and I said, always go to the right before I go up or down, and I changed that for people. I gave you credit and stuff like that. But this goes over 2, down 1. So there's this graph, okay? This one has a B of -4. So there's it. And it has an M of 1/4. So go over 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1. Okay, so that's where it should be. All right, so that's this one. All right. So is this point 4 over 4 -3? So 1, 2, 3, 4, -3. So this would be true. Okay. And I've tried to set up, to me, this is more of a concept thing. If you can know, because even on the final and the ACT, you don't have to graph. The only time you have to graph on the test is if you're taking the AP test for math. So why should we teach it sometimes? Okay. All right. What is this? Oh, this is where you're supposed to solve them. Why did I not grab all the right way? Oh, well. So, quick question. And this is what some people had an issue with. When you have a y equals or x equals one thing, which method should you use? Awesome. Yes, substitution. So we're going to take all this right here and plug it in where y was. Okay. So we combine like terms, we get a -x plus 2 equals -2. Whoop. Yes, I still mess up when you're face to face, as I do if I am teaching virtually. All right, big thing about this, remember you can't have a -x. You could divide or multiply by -1. So we do get x equals 4. Now to find the y, I would go back to this original problem and plug it in. So your final answer is 414. Okay. Wow, my nose is itching. Yes, no, we okay? Or you're like, just go through the lesson and I'll watch it again later when I really want to? That's fine by me. I mean, that it's going to be in Schoology. I mean, I'm okay with it. All right. So we're going to take all this and plug it in where we see x. All right. So when we distribute, and I don't know if some of y'all paid attention to this, a lot of times students, when they distribute, they forget to distribute to the second term. So I like to mark this out so I know that there's something else. So 10 minus 1. All right. Now, if you know stuff about things, you don't actually have to divide or multiply. You already know that y is going to be -1. And to find x, we would just plug it back in. So this becomes 5 minus -4 equals x. Minus a negative plus a positive. So we end up with 9, -1. Now, believe it or not, I do know a way to set up all these problems so all the answers are -2, -1, 2, but I didn't want to do that. I did it one time on a quiz to one of my Algebra 1 students years ago when I was in grad school, and they freaked out because they had 4 problems on the quiz, and they were all the same answer, and they didn't know how that would happen. It's kind of fun. All right. So we're plugging in. That's 5x plus 6 equals 15. All right. So here my x's go away. Now, can 6 equal 15? No. So this would be no solution. Now, if you were actually taking this on a paper test, you could actually do the circle slash. I top it out. So just let you know, after we get out of all this hazmat suit, I wanted to get a hazmat suit to wear today, but my wife, fuck it. Man. I don't know why. All right. These problems you have to look at for like 3 to 5 seconds. Sometimes you have to look over them longer. All right. I don't have an x or a y equals. Okay. I could easily change it for one of them, but this one I would actually use elimination. Now, this is the one that a lot of people don't like. Okay. Now, you could choose either the x's or the y's to get rid of. I'm actually going to get rid of the y's. And this is why. If I look at my y's right here, there we go. One of them negative y, one of them negative 2y. So I could easily make this top one be a positive 2y. Okay, so I'm going to leave this bottom one alone. All right, that should be a y, shouldn't it? Listen, y'all aren't just sitting there watching it from home, so y'all can tell me if I mess up. All right, if I want this to be a positive 2y, what am I going to have to multiply this equation by? Yeah, negative 2. All right, so I get a negative x. Pew, that goes away. Negative 3. So x equals 3. And it doesn't matter which one of these that we plug it into. You can plug it into the top or the bottom, and you'd get the same answer. I'm going to be lazy, and I'm going to use the top one because I think I'm going to have less work when I do that. So I get negative y equals 5. So it's going to be the opposite of that. So I get 3, negative 5. All right, even if you don't graph these, the answers are still coordinate points. Okay. And yeah. All right. Now, this is another one that you could easily use elimination. Okay. You could also do substitute. Some people, even though on the test it would say solve by elimination, they would still use substitution because they were more comfortable with that. Honestly, on the ACT, it's going to say solve the system of equations, and you're going to solve it however you want to. That's fine by me too. I don't care as long as you know how to do it and you understand it. All right. So let's get rid of one of the variables. Which one do y'all want to get rid of, x or y? All right. So we're going to get rid of y again. So when I look, come on, there we go. I have a negative 4y and a 2y. Well, I can make this bottom one be a positive 4y. So I'm going to leave this one alone. Now, if I want this to be a positive 4y, what am I going to have to multiply everything right here by? I thought I heard it. I thought I heard a 2. I only got one ear working, which is not different from any other day. All right. Does 0 plus 0 equal 0? Yeah. So this would be the, like, I forget if I have it as all real numbers. There's actually 6, like, multiple ways. You say all real numbers, and you can write it like this, infinitely many. Okay. Any one of those would work. All right. Any one of those would work. I got another one. I forgot I put this one on here. We're going to get rid of X this time. I'm just choosing it because we hadn't done it yet. All right. This is a 4 and a 5, I can make the top one be a 20x, and I can make this bottom one be a negative 20x, because that would mean they would cancel. You want what's called additive inverses, same sign, different numbers. Okay. So on the top, what would I have to multiply 4 by to make it be 20? 5. So I'd multiply everything right here by 5. All right. On the bottom, what am I going to have to multiply 5 by to be negative 20? Negative 4. Very good. I think when you decide what to get rid of, and I've changed it this year than how I've done it in the past, I line them up, and that's how you can know what to multiply by. I think it has made more sense. I don't know what that is in my head. 5 times 4. All right, 140. Okay. So x's go away. This is 155. Divided by 31. All right. I'm putting that on silent because every time that ding goes off, it makes me think I have a good idea, and I don't want to live in a false reality. All right. So y is 5. And I could choose either one of these. I'm going to just choose the top one. And I think as far as these problems go, a lot of people don't have so much of an issue with it. It was the word problems that people had an issue with, which I understand. And we're going to get to those here soon. And it would also help out if your teacher didn't screw up when he did the homework assignment. And I didn't catch that until like later in the day either. So, all right. I hope that's all of those. We'll see. All right. Now, this is my x, this is my y. So I'm going to plug stuff in. So I'm going to have negative 5 minus 3 times whatever equals 4. I covered it up. There we go. 3, 5, negative 9 equals 4. All right, so this works for this one. Does it have to work for just one of them or both of them? Good answer. Yes, both. Honestly, I can't even tell if y'all are actually paying attention or you're snoring right now. You mean we've done like 6 problems and y'all couldn't see the screen? Cheese and crackers, people. Oh my gosh. Now we go. Yes. Does it have to work for one of them or both of them? Okay, now we got people awake. Oh my gosh. Katie, bar the door. All right, so negative 10 plus negative 21. All right, does negative 31 equal 35? No, so this is false because it did not work for both of them. It has to work for both. Now, y'all will definitely have to go back on YouTube or go back on Schoology and look at this lesson since we let me go through half of it without it being on the screen. I'm going to start shaving eyebrows. I'm going to start with you. All right. Indicate what is the best method to solve this system of equations. Would it be elimination, graphing, or substitution? Elimination. And this is why. If this is the main thing that I would look for. Nope, not you. This one. This right here. They're the same term, but different sign. We have a positive 5x and a negative 5x. Those x's will go away when you combine them. Okay. All right. Now, this was from Friday's lesson. And I am really glad that now that we could actually go over this the way I've always wanted to do it the past 5 years. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, you're marking on your anti-COVID plexiglass. Okay. So, which way is this going to be shaded? Above or below? Or up or down? Down. It's going to be shaded down because the Y is not being eaten. Okay. Is this going to be solid or dotted? This is going to be solid because it's got a line up underneath it. All right. What is the B? What is the Y-intercept? And what is the M? Before we did this algebra for mastery thing years ago, and I taught algebra, this is actually how I would actually have the test set up. Because if you know these characteristics, you're good to go. All right. Now, this one you got to solve a little bit. Okay, we got to get y on one side by itself. And remember, what is 15 minus 2x? Awesome. Yes, 15 minus 2x because you cannot combine them. Y'all can see it now, right? Y'all are with me? All right. It's supposed to be a 15. All right. So after I divided and everything, so we should have y is greater than 2/5 x minus 3. All right. Shading, is it going to go above or below? Above. It's going to go up because the y is being eaten. Y is greater than this time. Solid or dotted? Dotted. Okay. What is our b? -3. And our m is 2/5. Awesome. Oh, we got plenty of time. All right. So we know this is like this is multiple choice. This is awesome. So glad I wrote it this way. All right, so we know we're going to have a y in there. We know we're going to have an x. Okay, is this a solid or dotted line? Solid. So we know it's going to have a line up underneath it. So on test taking skills, you could go ahead and mark out like these two. These are not a choice. Okay. Is it shaded above or below? Above. So the y is going to be eaten. So that automatically knocks out that choice. So here's your answer. Now you could go through and find that's actually supposed to be a +3, isn't it? Or a +2. Well, I typed it in wrong, so it's okay. So pay attention to that on the test tomorrow. Okay. Wink, wink. I know not only is it your first day back in class and you've just eaten and you're tired, but now it's starting to rain. So we will all be falling asleep soon. This is going to be awesome. I'm glad I chose this job instead of something else. Guys, that's the jokes. They don't get any better than that, okay? All right, so this becomes negative 10. Is negative 10 less than or equal to negative 2? Yeah, so this one works for this one. So we got to try it with this here. Okay, so we're going to put in 4, negative 6. So 20 minus negative 24. 44, not 54. So that one's good for it. So we have true here. Okay. Remember, when it's one of these, is this a solution for it? It's got to work for both. Okay. It's one of those, everybody's got to be happy. All right. The word problem. All right. One number is 4 more than 3 times the second number. The difference of two numbers is 18. Okay. Define X. I think I even have it. Nope, I didn't grab that. It's like the first number. Okay. Define Y is going to be the second number. All right. One number, so we're just going to say X is 4 more than 3 times the second. The difference of the two numbers, so X minus Y, is 18. Okay, so I want to grab these real quick. Down here and solve them. Now, this is a very easy substitution. You take this in and plug it in. Okay, so I have 4 plus 2y is 18. That's 4 minus 4. 2y equals 14. So y equals 7, and to find x, plus 21. So x equals 25. Okay. Now, I think there's only one word problem on here. Isn't it a lot easier than some of the other ones? Okay. Used to, we would have 4 problems where you'd have to define x, define y, and set up the equations for 2 of them. Then you'd have to do the same thing and then solve them. I don't necessarily see the reason in doing all that. Oh, that's done. So, oh, shucks.